I'm Julie Abbott with Can-Am. As the general manager, I have the pleasure of having the tour manager for MCC, Judy Wilmot. And Judy, part of what I know that I like to share and talk with the team members at Can-Am often are about the protocols and the do's and the don'ts, if you will, of cricket on and off the pitch. And I feel like I sometimes come across as being rather terse and abrupt, and they sometimes look at me. Share with me, though, how important is it for the way that we behave off the pitch and on the pitch in general, and how that can be perceived?
Well, I come from an era where traditional cricket, it was very, very important, your behaviour off the field at all times, really. We were always taught that putting your pads on is done in the changing room. You don't just lie them out on the field and just put them on at some time. You put them on. You will wear your whites at all times if you're playing in whites, so that when the match starts you will be in whites, unless your captain specifically says you may go into shorts, but then it would be uniform shorts. If you're out and you don't like the way you're out, I think it's very important that you walk off gracefully. You don't give any looks to the umpire. You certainly never swear at any point on the field. You walk away. If you are very disgruntled, go into the changing room away from everybody else. Then you may throw your pads on the floor, throw your bat down, do what you like, regain your composure, come out again. It's very important you don't stay in the changing room. You come out with your teammates, you sit with them, you chat to them, and the fact that you lost your wicket isn't really mentioned again, so off you go. And then leaving the field, if you're fielding, very important, the captain is the first person off the field, the captain is the first person on the field when you're taking the field of play, unless somebody's performed really well, and in that case they may nominate somebody to go off in front of them to leave. So the boundary rope is the boundary. You don't cross that until your captain gives you permission.
So let's be honest here, Judy. You and I go back a long way. Back in England when I was playing as a 12, 14, 15-year-old, and we played county matches against each other. So anybody that is listening to this on video is probably saying, gosh, they played a long time ago, and why is that important for me now? For those of our Can-Am players that are and who do aspire to do well and have a huge future in cricket and have the potential for that, are these things therefore still important? I mean, are they of utmost importance?
I think so. I think that you cannot play a team game unless you are respectful of your team members, particularly your captain, and the opposition. And I think that if you're aspiring to be a great cricketer, then you need to have these instilled in you right from the beginning, so it's automatic. So as you progress through the ranks, you are still sticking to the etiquette of cricket. Very important. I don't think you'll get anywhere if you're swearing, throwing your bat around and not listening to people. The people that are important out there, the umpires, are the people who are controlling the game, and if you lose their respect and they think that you're an awful person, then I don't think there's any place for you on the cricket field.
Would you say that also goes hand in hand with sometimes behaviour and attitude can come through from body language? Sometimes, that low energy or sometimes frowns and body language can sometimes say so much. Do you think that is also seen and could potentially help or hinder somebody's career in cricket?
I think that hinders you yourself. Never ever swear, ever, on a field. I don't think there's any place for that. It might slip out if the ball comes back and hurts you. That I can accept, but for a decision, no, never. And I think that if the umpire perhaps calls a wide and you start looking aggressive and everything, I think it'll affect your play. Obviously you're going to feel very downbeat if something's happened that you're not happy with, but then it's up to you to have the charisma to get on with it and play. You will not play well if you're angry. You will not play well if you're very, very dispirited. So, and if the rest of the team can help you, then you must be listening to them and playing as a team. You might be the bowler, but the whole team should be behind you, and they will only be behind you if you have gained their respect. If you start swearing because somebody's dropped a catch, then the next time the ball comes, they think, oh, well, why should I bother? But if somebody says, oh, well, never mind, next time, you've done your best, it happens to all of us, we drop catches, forget about it, let's move on. And I think that is the important thing.
Thank you. Let's take it one step further. You talk about team and the camaraderie and the energy and how positive that can be. I mentioned earlier that you and I go back some years ago, and who would have ever thought that when Can-Am arrived in England a month ago to play against MCC and also to play against an ex-England 11, that our paths would cross again. Cricket is one of those funny games that, and we all love cricket so much that for the reasons, not just because it's a wonderful game, but we also make such wonderful friendships over the years. What do you think that MCC brings as far as developing relationships, developing connections to people around the world?
I think one of the important things for MCC, as you can see from our touring team, we have varying ages, from people just leaving school right up to nearly old age pensioners like myself. We've got abilities that range from club right through to national level, and I think our main aim is that at the end of the day we should be almost man enough not to worry too much about the result. I always feel at the end of an MCC game that if everybody has enjoyed it, if everybody's been allowed to show their full potential, I think that is far more important than the result at the end of the day. And I think that's what MCC brings. In the days when every match seems to matter, you've got to win to get promotion or to go further, I think MCC, we won today, but nobody's looking at the scores. What everybody's looking at is how well some of the batsmen played, if they've achieved a 50 for the first time, if they've taken wickets for the first time, if they've taken an amazing catch. That to me is what is important about MCC. And tonight we will go off as two teams, but we will chat to each other. There will be no one team sitting here and one team sitting there. We will mingle, we will chat to each other, we will learn from each other. We can learn about different cultures, different people. Some of the Can-Am players will be sitting with Charlotte Edwards, Claire Taylor, chatting to them about their experiences. This is what they can achieve. Everybody can achieve that if they work hard. And the friendships, I've got friends simply through cricket. And at the end of the season, I feel really deflated that I will not see these people until the next season.
Final question for you. I know it suddenly struck us when MCC actually looked and said to Can-Am, really what you're upholding, you are exactly an MCC for women's cricket in the Americas. I think that certainly has been our intention, to have a public function and really promote women's cricket throughout the Americas. Do you think that we look like an MCC version, if you will, for women's cricket? And what advice do you give to us as an organisation as we continue to develop women's cricket through the Americas?
Yeah, I think, because you and I were brought up in the same way of cricket, then we come from the same place. We want the same things. And the first time I saw you at Cricket Week, I was actually the umpire. I wasn't playing in the game, but the whole game I thought was played with friendship, with spirit. But what I like is that there's applause for either team. If it's a good shot, if it's a good ball, if it's a good catch, if they're fielded well, everybody, people, if you're fielding and there's a good shot, there's nothing wrong with clapping to say good shot. I think that's an important part of the game, and I think you certainly are a very friendly team. That's what I like to see. And the fact that there are so many different personalities there, and to me it's lovely to see somebody like Charlotte Edwards going out there and batting beautifully, but then I like to see somebody who's perhaps never scored more than 10 runs scoring 11 runs, and I think that's an achievement for them. And I think that definitely when I've seen Can-Am playing, this is what comes through, and I think that's the sort of person that you need to keep, somebody passionate about cricket, who wants to spread the word of cricket, bring a friend along to play cricket. That way, if everybody brings a friend, we double the numbers immediately. And that to me is what is important, that you're promoting cricket to everybody, every level. It doesn't matter what standard you ultimately achieve. If you can try and improve yourself each game, that's the important thing. Feel you've played your best always.
Judy, it's a pleasure as always, and thanks for being
Pleasure.
here. It's great to see you.
Enjoyed it.